interesting questions about me, my karate, the dojo, life, wisdom, advice. Alicia? How long have I been doing karate? This is year 16. But I started martial arts when I was 11. I started with judo, and I started primary school. Then when I went to high school, there was no martial, there was karate, but it was Shotokan. And I wasn't really, I don't know, I just didn't feel for it. Then I went to Rhodes University, and there's a very small dojo, about a quarter of the size of this one. And you had to walk through the bathrooms to get to it. It was kind of like a gross location. I fell in love with Goju, and I've been doing it ever since. So I started karate late, only at 19. It's never too late to start. And like so many kids, I started because I was being bullied. You know, I had bad teeth, I had bifocal glasses, I was a super nerd. I was that kid who would like read the dictionary at break. So of course I was a ripe target for bullies. And so I started judo. Dwayne, you had your hand up.
Sensei, how long has Sensei Jagger been doing karate?
Wonderful question. Sensei Jagger has been doing karate since he was 5 years old. He's now 46. He's been doing karate. He took off 2 years in high school just to find himself. Took a break, and he hasn't stopped doing karate since. He became a black belt in 1989. I was 3 years old. To give you an idea of how long your sensei has been doing karate, nearly 40 years. Imagine how much you would know if you did the same thing every day for 40 years.
That should be put in the video.
No, I'm definitely going to leave that in the video. I want to do the same series with him as well. Questions my students ask me.
So what are your hopes for the dojo in the future? I mean the channel.
For YouTube specifically. So we started this channel because we were in lockdown, and we thought, well, we might as well get around to the channel we've been talking about for years. 2, YouTube's a bad way to make money, but a great way to make friends. So we're very grateful for all the people we've met all over the world via our YouTube channel, and the feedback they give us, the incredible comments they leave. Like, I think in a year, because this video marks 1 year of releases, we've had 4 or 5 negative comments out of hundreds. So my goal is to keep growing our community. I don't expect the channel will ever be super massive. I don't expect us to be like as big as Karate Waku or Jesse or any of those big channels, or even Sensei Seth. But we never started this channel with the idea of making a lot of money from it, because we know realistically that most of the money on YouTube is made by the big YouTubers. I would very much like a silver play button one day. And even if it takes 5 to 10 years, it'll still be cool. Right now, my goal is for us to be the biggest karate channel in South Africa, and then maybe one day the continent. Those are my hopes and dreams for the channel.
How long has the dojo been here for?
Good question. So the dojo itself, as an entity, has been around since 1978. So Goju Karate Center as a business, and the dojo is 41 years old. Yeah. Sensei Jagger built this dojo in 2003. He bought this property with the mind of building his own dojo here. And he built this dojo in 6 weeks. It took us 6 weeks to do the parquet floor. His blood, sweat, and tears are in this building.
What is your favorite fact about karate?
What is my favorite thing about karate? I love that it's truly universal, that any body type, regardless of your sex, your gender, how you look, how you feel, where you come from, like karate is human movement, and that makes it universal. And I really love that it's traveled across martial arts, but karate as well has traveled across thousands of years to come to be in this dojo in Johannesburg. So when you think about it traveling across time and space and language from China to South Africa, I think that's very cool. It's one of the things I love about karate. Nana,
Do you enjoy teaching the dojo?
do I enjoy teaching in the dojo? Most of the time. There are days when it's very hard. There are days when, say, I'm dealing with a very severe anxiety attack, and days it's very hard for me to teach, and there's no one to hand over to. Like if Shay's doing chimney sweeping, or if Deshi's not here, or Angelina's not here, there are days when it's very hard for me to teach, but I try my best. And there are days when like the little ones are really, really, really tough.
And you still do a good job.
Thank you, Michael. Yay.
What is it like to be teaching in the pandemic?
What's it like teaching in a pandemic? It's very challenging in many ways. So we are relentless about our safety protocols, about masks, about social distancing. You know, we've got the 2-block rule in the dojo. So every student has to be 2 tatami mats away. That's a 2-meter gap. Relentlessly asking masks. I don't want to see your nose. Don't move your mask to talk to me. Social distancing, moving from car to class to car. And it's hard because we want to give our students the normalcy of dojo and training and a grading to look forward to and all of those things. But we also have to balance it with safety. And I don't want the dojo to ever be, you know, a super spreader. I don't want us to be the locus of an outbreak. So it's been hard, and it was very hard last year when we were teaching exclusively on Zoom for a couple of months. And, you know, not everyone has equal access to data, to internet, uncapped Wi-Fi. So a lot of students took time off. But reassuringly, most of them made their way back. And I think if that gave us any testament to our hard work, that was it. That we survived a pandemic and we survived being closed for 6 months. Easy.
How many female trainers are?
Sadly, none that I know of. No legitimate ones. When I was in Okinawa, the highest ranked woman at the GRKC seminar was a South African woman, Sensei Lillian. Sensei Lillian, if you're watching this. She's a 7th Dan. That's the highest ranked woman in GRKC, 7th Dan. We've got a thick glass ceiling to break through, but we're getting there, one woman at a time. Seth.
How hard is it to own a dojo?
Wonderful question. How hard is it to own a dojo? Hard is what makes it great. That cheesy phrase makes sense. It's hard because you know most of your students are going to leave you. That's sometimes the hardest part about doing this. There's a phrase, that which gives light must endure burning. I'm never off duty. I'm always available. I'm always sensei. So whatever I post on social media, whatever I say to my students, how I carry myself when I'm in public, I'm always sensei. And that's an honor I hope to live up to. So in many ways, it's very hard. There's marketing. I have to make sure the dojo gets new students to replace the ones that leave. There's admin. There's a lot of repair and administration, like fixing the floors, buying new mats. Every time you all want a beautiful new hoodie or t-shirt, guess who designs it, updates the website, runs social media, runs the accounts. Oh gosh, there's a long list of things. Ordering the toilet paper, running the YouTube channel, running WhatsApp, replying to all your parents' questions and your questions on WhatsApp. Full-time job. Is it worth it? 1,000,000% worth it.
What are your best memories?
There's not enough time in this video to talk about my best memories, but one of my favorite things is when the kids come back from holiday and they're just like that much taller, and I realize the privilege that they're staying with me long enough for me to watch them grow up. And you know, there's nothing that makes a sensei happier than your students sticking with you long enough that you get to meet their kids, or, you know, they bring their partner to you and they're like, Sensei, this is the person I love. I'd like you to meet them. Oh, I'm getting quite choked up thinking about that. That would be cool. If you all one day, all the students who started with me as a deshi, bring their boyfriends and girlfriends, giving people their belts, and especially people who've like really, really worked a long time. So recently one of our seniors, Angelina, graded, and Shay gave her his old belt. And to see that legacy being passed from male to female, from senior to junior. Obviously she's put a white stripe on the belt because she's a junior black belt, but to see her wear Shay's belt as a symbol of his respect for her hard work and the example she sets in the dojo, that's a very special memory. Telling the dojo we were having a baby, that was a wonderful day, wonderful 2 days over the course of the time we took to tell the dojo, and I think a lot of people were very, very surprised. And that was very, very special. Every day I get to teach. It's very rare that I don't have like some funny moment or something a kid said. I had a 5-year-old who was cross with me that I wasn't giving him enough attention in the dojo. And he had a whole like, I'm going to cancel karate. I was like, you're not canceling anything. You're 5, dude. So that was, there's not enough time. But I think being in the dojo and being a sensei the last 5 years are much happier than the 10 years I spent in corporate.
What have you learned from karate over the years?
Excellent question. What have I learned? Self-defense. I've used it. A guy tried to mug me. I kicked him, he ran away. That was pretty useful. I've learned great self-confidence. A lot of self-confidence has come from karate. If I tell you that as a young girl I couldn't speak to strangers, now I'm quite happy to teach in front of hundreds of people with no problem. And karate's given me an outlet, a way to express myself, and to understand that anyone can be an athlete. You know, I was always the last kid to get picked for everything at school. Last for running, last for dodgeball, last for swim team. So karate gave me something that I actually could be good at. And also, thankfully, no team sport.
How did you feel when you first started teaching us?
How did I feel when I first started teaching? Oh, there was lots of crying. I really, really wanted to be good at it. And it was actually really intimidating. Everyone in this class behind the camera, I've actually known all of them my whole Deshi career, and now as an instructor. And they can testify as to when in the beginning, I would lose my temper more often, I would cry a lot, I'd freak out a lot. Now, I just have a much more zen approach to teaching. I'm a gardener, not a carpenter. I can't hammer these students into place. I could just help them be the best students they can be. And that's a privilege every single day.
Your main goal, what you're hoping for?
My goal for myself is to make it to 5th or 6th Dan, and to grow our dojo to the point where my husband doesn't have to sweep chimneys anymore, and he can focus on being a great karate man all the time, and not have to clean a single chimney ever again.
What's your hopes for your students?
What are my hopes for my students? Beautiful question. My hope is that you will all find the best version of yourselves, that you will learn how to be strong and compassionate, that it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war, that you will find out that you're much stronger than you think you are, you're more resilient than you think you are, you know more than you think you do. And it is my hope that you know I believe in every single one of you. I know that most of you don't stay. That's a hard part of being an instructor. Your students will leave you. They immigrate, they quit, they get hurt, sometimes they get tired of karate. But if you're lucky, the best of you sticks with your students, even if they don't stick with you. And I guess that's all we can hope for as instructors.